Tili Tili Bom is another disturbing music video created by the Korean animation channel VIVINOS, a channel that I have covered extensively in the past. This video is quite unlike VIVINOS' previous videos, however. Instead of covering two lovers who have been ripped apart by a cruel fate, or something similar, this tale is simply about two lab rats. The song used in this video is an old Russian lullaby of the same name, Tili Tili Bom. Not an old pop song like Suki Suki Daisuki, or a somber-toned ambient song like My September. No, it's a lullaby. A creepy lullaby. A lullaby so old that people aren't even sure when it was made or who even made it. Anyway, let's take a look at the video itself and try to make sense of what's on screen. The video starts off with an extreme close-up on a lab rat's eye as it looks outside of its cage. The shot then pulls out to show us the full contents of this cage. Two rats, one albino rat and one brown rat. We then get another extreme close-up of a character's eye. As the shot pulls out, we see that the eye belongs to an albino girl, meaning that the albino rat more than likely represents her. For argument's sake, let's refer to her as Red, since her most focused on feature is her eyes. The scene continues, as we see Red getting her head shaved by some faceless scientists, as a drip is connected to her neck. As time passes and the shot pulls further out, her head becomes fully shaved and we see a person next to her, keeled over and covered in their own blood, more than likely dead. The character is also dressed in the same attire and is also recently shaven, meaning that this person was also more than likely a lab rat. As this shot fades, the screen is suddenly filled with Renaissance paintings that have been covered in filters and black veins painted on top of them, as well as seemingly real images that have had filters and effects put on top of them. We then suddenly cut to an image of a cross, surrounded by a white light. We then see two children, now in their church vestments, with one of the scientists presenting them to the masses as the church cross looms above them. We then see a scientist prep a syringe with what appears to be holy water from a holy water font, as the two girls hold each other's hands in fear. We are then met with more biblical imagery, but this time of Jesus Christ. We then see the two girls sitting above the praying masses below the holy cross. The two are then paraded through the meadows by carriage. The other girl, for simplicity's sake let's call her Brunette, is greeting and thanking the people as Red passively ignores them. By this point, Brunette gets a halo around her head, very similar to a lot of the old depictions of Jesus Christ, with light exuding from their head. We see a staircase that fades into the sky and leads to the Holy Cross. We then see this shot of the two, Brunette surrounded by light and Red looking apathetic. Brunette's face then fills the shot until we get a shot of nails being driven through her wrists, then being interlaced with shots of needles being put into her wrists, as well as needles being put into her neck as she writhes in agony. We are then met with more biblical imagery until we get this shot of Brunette in centre frame, bloodied and slumped over. Then we immediately cut to an image of Jesus during the crucifixion. We then cut back to the rat cage. We see the brown rat, collapsed on its side, dead, as the albino rat simply stares at the camera. The final shot reveals that this entire ordeal was simply for some facial products. So let's break this video down. In the video's description, VIVINOS says that this video was inspired by the movie Midsummer, but the only thing that is really taken from Midsummer is some of the themes of religion and cultism, but beyond that not much is carried over, besides maybe the use of flowers before a sacrifice and stuff like that. In my opinion, the video seems a lot less literal than it may appear. In my opinion, VIVINOS anthropomorphizes these characters so that we can sympathize with these animals more, being used as test subjects and eventually sacrificed for our commercial use. I think this because of the introductory shot as well as the second to last shot. The story of these two characters starts and ends with rats in a cage. The rats mirroring the two kids we see quite clearly. They are shown to us as children because if they were simply shown to us as rats being injected with syringes, the effect wouldn't be anywhere near as visceral and unsettling if it was simply some rodents. Yes, it would be unpleasant to watch that, but the effect would be severely weakened. Further evidence of this is the fact that the kids get shaved. When rats get tested on for cosmetic testing, rats have products rubbed onto their bare shaved skin so it's easy to see adverse effects. Some people may argue the exact opposite, however, saying that the rats are meant to represent the children more so literally than metaphorically, that these children are literally lab rats in some shady beauty company's laboratory. and the main reason for the lab rat imagery is to tell the audience that these children are test subjects. I disagree with this sentiment because it is clearly portrayed to the audience that these characters are being experimented on. If you remove the scenes with the literal lab rats, we could already tell that these kids are test subjects. Also, thematically, the narrative is a lot more poignant if the story reflects the real world. More than 100 million test rats are still being used as test subjects annually in the US alone, so I doubt that VIVINOS meant to tell the story literally, that children are being tested on, because that would turn the story of a twisted but bitterly true representation of the real world into a story about children in a top secret facility being tested on, which really dampens the effect of the narrative in my opinion. My interpretation of the video is as such. The two lab rats are represented by the two characters, Red and Brunette. We are shown how the rats are treated through them being shaved as well as injected with strange chemicals. I feel that the religious imagery, more so the imagery of Jesus Christ, is supposed to liken the act of martyrdom, sacrificing your life and dying for your beliefs, to the act of animal testing for cosmetic products. The brown rat slash brunette is very clearly meant to represent the lamb, aka Jesus Christ, being sacrificed. I believe this because of the way she's presented, with a halo and light surrounding her, as well as the shots of stigmata and the shot of the crucifixion just before her death further support this. This video compares the most famous sacrifice in all of history, the life of the Lamb, Jesus Christ, a story that we all know and are familiar with. Jesus dying for our sins, the crucifixion. This video compares that to the life of lab rats being sacrificed for something as mundane as beauty products. This video paints lab rats as unsung martyrs for the average person's convenience. It's quite ironic and poetic in some ways, and because of this, conceptually, this is my favourite VIVINOS video. So overall, this video portrays a narrative about the struggle of lab rats that are constantly being subjected to heinous testing through the anthropomorphization of these lab rats, by representing them as children to make the story even more heartbreaking, reflecting the real world in a twisted, but unfortunately accurate way. This VIVINOS video was genuinely my favourite out of the bunch so far, so I'm very excited to see what other creepy stuff they make in the future. If memory serves, I think they're working on a music video right now that has something to do with the circus, so take that as you will. Thank you very much for watching this video. If you enjoyed it, feel free to take a look at my other VIVINOS videos. If for some lovely reason you've already seen those, take a look at my Josie Poo video, another horror Korean animation channel. If you've seen that video as well, take a look at my Monster Files videos. There's a couple of them out, and my next one will be about the rake, so that's something to look forward to. So yeah, time for the rhetoric you've heard 1,000 times before. So please like, comment, subscribe. It will be very much greatly appreciated, and if you feel that my interpretation was wrong, or yours is different, please feel free to tell me how you feel. So yeah, thanks again for watching the video, and toodles my doodles, hopefully I'll see you in the next one. Peace.